Plaintiff Consuelo Vasquez says she left her husband to be with a defendant, and he kept promising to leave his wife, but that never happened. Consuelo claims she eventually learned that the defendant was an abusive alcoholic who threatened to kill her with a pen, and she's suing him today for vandalizing her apartment. Defendant Ron Cota says Consuelo is nothing but a sex fiend who became infuriated when Ron wouldn't have sex with her 5 times a day. Ron says Consuelo has been a thorn in his side for the past 29 years, and he's countersuing for car damages.
Start with you.
Your Honor, I left my husband for this man. He kept telling me that he was going to leave his wife over and over again and made me feel like an idiot. And then I come to find out after, when it was a little too late, that he is a violent, abusive alcoholic who threatened to kill me with a pen.
How long did you all date or cheat?
29 years I've known this woman.
Date?
We never dated. She's always been my Sancha, another woman. She's been a sex alcoholic. She calls me an alcoholic. She needs it 5 times a day. If I don't give it to her 5 times a day, she gets mad at me. So it's the same problem she has with her husband. She leaves her husband. I've known her since I was 20 years old. She was 23. We got together. She liked me. We worked together. She liked me. A mutual friend told her she likes me. We got together. First time we got together, we had sex. A week later after that, 2 weeks in our relationship, she tells me she's pregnant with her now husband. She's been with him when we met, she was with him for 8 years, had a 2-year-old daughter.
How long ago was that?
In 1983. She took advantage of me. I was practically a virgin. I've probably been with like one woman. She's older than me.
How old were you?
I was 20.
Okay.
She took my innocence. What can I tell you? It may sound funny, but she did. I didn't know anything. This woman had to explain things to me that I didn't understand. Okay.
Think he needs counseling?
You would think I would like that 5 times a day. I'm 50 years old. I can't produce like I was when I was 20. You know what I mean?
You can't do 5 times a week. I got news for you.
Well,
so you all began dating or having a sexual relationship in '83?
Yeah, it's going on 30 years.
All right, so what has occurred within that 30-year time frame?
That was going on and off from '83, and then we finally broke it off. Her husband and I, we got in many fist fights throughout the years.
Many?
Yeah, maybe 3 maybe in the years. She tells him, oh, Ron lives over here. Here's his address. Go over there. So he'll stalk me for a day or 2.
But
If that was the
still
case, I would have
married
done
to
the
the
same
one.
thing this time, too.
So then do it.
I told you I wouldn't, and I didn't.
Okay, then. Just like I respect your children, you respect my home, okay?
Well, that's why. But
All
yeah,
right,
you
well,
always
then we'll
tried.
go to another court case if that happens, okay? She's been a pain in my side for 29 years.
That's why you were looking for me, huh? That's why you were looking for me?
You were looking at me first on Facebook.
No.
Yeah, you were. You knew where I lived in Granada Hills.
He went to he knew where I was living. He went to my neighbors, pretending that he wanted to buy my brother's car, who had passed away. But when we finally did get together is when he reached me through Facebook.
You would think I would like that 5 times a day. I'm 50 years old. I can't produce like I was when I was 20. You know what I mean?
You can't do 5 times a week.
Plaintiff Consuelo Vasquez says after she left her husband to be with a defendant, she discovered he was an abusive alcoholic who threatened her life with a pen.
You come back together, and you all reignite the flame.
Right. At this point, I left my husband. I didn't want to be lying to him and cheating. I left him.
All right.
When we were together, it was amazing. We were like on a natural high. I felt like I was 20 again. We didn't have to drink.
And he was still married.
Correct.
He was to leave his wife when?
He was going to leave his wife at that point, too, because of the way we both felt when we were together.
Right.
He kept, egging me on and egging me on.
And what ultimately happened?
What ultimately happened is that I saw that other side of him. I saw that other side of him, which when he drinks or he has a short temper, he gets verbally abusive.
So at that point, you obviously wouldn't have wanted him to leave his wife.
Oh, no, and every time I tried to break it off with him, he wouldn't let me go.
My point is, you act like the man took you from your husband and dumped you off. That's how you started off. Your Honor, he made me leave my husband. He didn't leave his wife.
No.
That's how you started off. Let's get to the property damage you're suing him for. What happened?
So this is going on off and on. In July of 2012, we were seeing less and less of each other. We had no plans. All of a sudden, he wants to come over. So I'm pulling into my driveway, which is a security gate. I'm waiting for the gate to open when all of a sudden a beer can is thrown at my windshield.
Oh, stop lying. The contents of the beer, not the beer can.
No, you threw the can.
Out of your brand new car. Okay. Fine.
And
Go ahead.
And he jumps into my car and he starts yelling and screaming at me and accusing me of all kinds of things. So I park my car, walk into my apartment as he's still yelling at me. And the front door is open, all the lights are on. He's still yelling at me, so I sat on the couch. He sat on the floor, and he's looking at me with those looks that he gets when he's that other person, and he says, I just want to kill you right now. So he jumps on top of me, and with his arm, pushes my head up against the couch with his weight, and is threatening that he's going to shove a pin through my eye and penetrate my brain. If he's going back to jail, it's going to be for a good reason, because he killed me. I'm trying to push him off, but as you can see, he's a big man. I could only do so much. I knew I couldn't push him off, so I just went limp, and he finally got off me. And he kept looking towards my bedroom, and he says, if you see what I did in there, you're gonna really hate me. And I'm like, oh my God. So I walk in there, all my clothes is on the floor. And I'm very anal, all my stuff has to be everything has a place.
All right, okay, so what happened?
I'm picking it up and it's all torn, it's all ripped. And I just look at him and I was like, it's time for you to go. And he goes, I'll go when I'm good and ready. And I'm like, oh my God.
How did it end that day?
How did it end that
Yes.
day? He broke my phone. I walked into the kitchen to get something to put on my face because it was hurting. And he grabs the remote control. He goes, you're going to hit me even more.
He never called the police? Well,
He smashed my phone. He smashed my phone.
okay. Did you ever go to the police?
Yes.
Okay.
I eventually told him, you know, I can't
All
argue
right,
with
let's
him.
see the property damage. Go ahead. Tell me the damage he committed to your property, man.
He ripped 9 dresses that come out to $26 each, 20 shirts at $10 each, a sweater, 3 pairs of pants, $20 each, 3 sweatshirts, $20 each, and just a towel wraparound. My TV and my cell phone. You know,
right. Let me see your list.
Here's
and
the
you
list.
went to the police.
I have pictures of my
Hold
property.
on, ma'am. You went to the police and he was prosecuted?
I went, when I was able to get out, when he fell asleep, I ran to a neighbor's. I
Was
called
he
the police.
prosecuted after you got the police involved?
I filed a restraining order.
What was the result?
I got my restraining order, and the judge also deemed that he should pay me for the damages.
Let's see that. Sir, what do you say to this?
First of all, that's not her phone. It's her husband's phone. Clothes that came off of the... I didn't deliberately...
All right, did you tell the first judge that?
Yeah, I did.
All right, and he heard all this, right?
She heard a little bit of it and
she
already
heard, all
decided
right.
I was guilty.
Okay, well,
when I
that's all
walked
I'm
in.
going to listen to is a little too. All right, now your counterclaim for $1,082, because you're talking crazy. It wasn't even her phone. That's your defense. It was her husband's phone after you done destroyed this woman's property and assaulted and beat her. $1,082 for what?
For her husband do some nice artwork on the trunk lid of my car.
All right, why didn't you
do it.
sue him?
Because she agreed that she would pay for it.
I paid
Ma'am?
for the deductible. I gave him $500 for the deductible to stick a
Anything
shut
in
up.
writing, or do I have to take your
you
word?
just have to take her word. You just have to take her word.
And you say you paid him how much?
I paid him $500.
Is that true?
No, she paid me $200. The last one was
Ooh,
a
what
check.
a liar.
Do you have any evidence that you paid him $500?
Unfortunately, I didn't think I was going to have to prove it. The $400 I gave him
when you
cash.
go to
The
court,
last
you gotta
$100 I
prove
gave
stuff.
him $100, and I have a canceled check here for the $100. I didn't think he was going to come back and my husband doesn't want to damage his car with an FU on it. My husband wants him.
Who did it?
Because he came to my apartment.
Who did it then?
It could have been his wife for all I know.
Okay, so why did you agree to pay him?
Because I wanted him to shut up.
Plaintiff Consuelo Vasquez says after she left her husband to be with the defendant, she discovered he was an abusive alcoholic who threatened her life with a pen.
Your counterclaim is granted, $1,082. I will grant you your property damage as is ordered by the court, $2,100. Have a good day. Judgments for both.
You had to go through all this? You couldn't have waited till I sobered up and talked to me? What kind of person do you think I am?
Restraining order on you.
Not the next day. If you'd have waited the next day, you got me up at gunpoint. At gunpoint, Connie. They got me at gunpoint.
You shouldn't have.
You know me.
You came into my home.
It doesn't
you came
matter.
into my home. You came
It doesn't
into my
matter.
home.
I came into your home. I had the key.
You didn't have a key.
I threw it away because I was pissed at you because I wouldn't make love to you enough.
Yeah, right,
come
you
at 2
can't.
o'clock in the morning
You
to lunch
can't.
and you get pissed off at me
You
because I don't
can't.
wake you up.
You can't.
What 50-year-old man wants 5 times a day?
I don't do it 5 times a day.
Yeah, okay, 10 times then.